BMW CEO Oliver Zipse has sent shockwaves through the automotive world with a bold announcement that could potentially disrupt the electric vehicle revolution. In a move that, really defies the industry's current trajectory toward full electrification, BMW has unveiled a groundbreaking new internal combustion engine that promises to combine traditional performance with unprecedented efficiency and reduced emissions. This development comes at a critical juncture in automotive history, as governments worldwide implement increasingly strict emissions regulations and consumers show growing interest in sustainable transportation options. For decades, BMW has built its reputation on delivering high-performance vehicles that blend luxury with exhilarating driving dynamics. Like other legacy automakers, the German manufacturer has been forced to adapt to the shifting landscape, introducing electric models such as the i3, i4, and flagship i9. However, there's always been a sense that BMW wasn't fully ready to abandon combustion technology, a sentiment shared by other traditional automakers like Toyota and Mazda, who have continued developing internal combustion engines alongside their EV offerings. Price competitiveness will be essential, as EV costs continue to decrease with improving battery technology and economies of scale. Additionally, BMW must navigate a policy landscape increasingly favorable to electric vehicles, with governments worldwide investing in charging infrastructure and offering incentives to EV owners. The environmental debate surrounding vehicle emissions may also play a crucial role, as questions persist about the true sustainability of EVs when considering battery production and electricity generation sources. Perhaps most significantly, BMW's innovation could reignite discussions about alternative paths to sustainable transportation. If the new engine can effectively utilize synthetic fuels or biofuels with neutral carbon footprints, it may offer a different approach to reducing automotive emissions without requiring a complete transition to electric power. This could prove particularly relevant in regions where the electrical grid still relies heavily on fossil fuels, potentially making internal combustion engines a more environmentally sound choice than electric vehicles in certain contexts. As the automotive industry stands at this critical juncture, BMW's revolutionary new engine represents far more than just another technological advancement. It, symbolizes a fundamental challenge to the prevailing narrative about the future of transportation. This bold move by the German automaker ensures that the conversation about sustainable mobility remains dynamic, complex, and honestly, far from settled. The coming months and years will reveal whether this innovative powertrain represents a genuine long-term alternative to full electrification or serves as an important transitional technology as infrastructure and consumer preferences continue evolving. What makes BMW's announcement particularly significant is its timing. Coming at the peak of the EV revolution, when most major automakers have committed billions to electric vehicle development and governments worldwide are implementing aggressive policies to phase out internal combustion engines, BMW's decision to double down on combustion technology demonstrates, remarkable confidence in their engineering capabilities. It suggests that the company sees viable pathways to sustainable mobility that don't necessarily require abandoning a century of combustion engine expertise. The implications of this development extend far beyond BMW's product lineup. This new engine could potentially reignite competition in powertrain innovation. By proving that internal combustion can meet stringent emission standards while delivering superior performance, BMW may inspire other automakers to reinvest in combustion technology research rather than putting all their resources into electrification. This could lead to a new wave of innovation across the entire automotive sector. Provide crucial options during the energy transition. As the world's electrical grids continue their gradual transition to renewable energy sources, BMW's high-efficiency combustion engines could serve as an important bridge technology, especially in regions where charging infrastructure remains underdeveloped or where electricity generation still relies heavily on fossil fuels. By potentially offering carbon-neutral operation through synthetic fuels or advanced biofuels, BMW's technology could, force a more nuanced discussion about what truly constitutes sustainable transportation, considering the full life cycle impacts of both electric and combustion vehicles. Preserve driving pleasure and automotive heritage. For enthusiasts who really cherish the sensory experience of traditional engines, the sound, the mechanical feedback, the direct connection between driver and machine, BMW's innovation offers hope that these qualities might persist even in an increasingly eco-conscious automotive landscape. Rather than a simple binary choice between electric and combustion, we may see the emergence of more sophisticated market segments where different powertrain technologies coexist, each serving, well, specific use cases, driving needs, and consumer preferences. However, significant challenges remain. The new engine must prove itself not just in laboratory conditions, but in real-world performance, long-term reliability, and actual emissions compliance. It must also overcome the powerful momentum behind electrification, including massive investments in battery technology, charging infrastructure, and consumer education. Perhaps most importantly, BMW's move ensures that the future of mobility will be decided through healthy competition between technologies, rather than regulatory mandates or industry groupthink. This competition will ultimately benefit consumers, who will have more choices and better technologies as automakers push each other to innovate. As we stand witness to this fascinating chapter in automotive history, one thing is certain: the conversation about sustainable transportation just became much more interesting. The road ahead is no longer a straight path to electrification, but a landscape of possibilities where multiple technologies may coexist and complement each other in unexpected ways. What do you think about BMW's bold strategy? Could this mark the beginning of a combustion engine renaissance, or is it merely a temporary detour on the inevitable road to electrification? Share your perspective in the comments. We're eager to hear whether you believe this represents genuine innovation or wishful thinking from the old guard of automaking. The automotive industry stands at one of the most pivotal moments in its century-long history, with BMW's bold new engine development serving as a dramatic plot twist in what many assumed would be a straightforward transition to electrification. As we watch this story unfold, we're reminded that technological revolutions rarely follow linear paths. They zigzag, they course-correct, and they often surprise us with developments we didn't see coming. What makes this particular moment so fascinating is that we're witnessing a potential paradigm shift in real time. Just when the automotive world seemed to have reached consensus on an all-electric future, BMW has thrown open the doors to new possibilities, proving that innovation in traditional powertrains still has cards left to play. This isn't just about one company's product strategy, it's about challenging assumptions, testing boundaries, and ensuring that the future of mobility develops through healthy competition rather than groupthink. For the energy sector, this development could reinvigorate research into synthetic fuels and biofuels, potentially creating new markets and supply chains that complement rather than compete with renewable electricity generation. For automotive engineers and designers, it opens up fresh creative possibilities, allowing them to draw from a broader toolkit of solutions as they work to balance performance, sustainability, and driving experience. What's particularly exciting is that we're just at the beginning of this story. In the coming months, we'll be watching closely as more technical details emerge about BMW's new engine technology, competitors respond with their own innovations, independent tests verify or maybe even challenge BMW's performance claims. The market begins to react to this new option, and governments and regulatory bodies assess how to classify and regulate these new powertrains. This is why your engagement matters so much right now. By liking, subscribing, and joining the conversation in the comments, you're not just passively observing history. You're helping to shape the discourse around one of the most important technological transitions of our time. Your questions, your perspectives, and your experiences as automotive enthusiasts or everyday drivers all contribute valuable insights to this complex discussion. We promise to stay on top of every development in this fast-moving story, bringing you in-depth technical analyses as more information becomes available, expert interviews with engineers and industry leaders, comparative testing between new combustion technologies and leading electric vehicles, coverage of how other automakers are responding, updates on regulatory developments that could impact these technologies, and real-world driving impressions when these vehicles hit the road. The road ahead promises to be anything but dull. Will BMW's bet on advanced combustion pay off? Will it force electric vehicle makers to accelerate their own innovations? Could this lead to a new era of technological pluralism in the auto industry? These are the questions we'll be exploring together in the weeks and months to come. So, hit that like button if you're as fascinated by this development as we are. Subscribe to make sure you don't miss a single update in what's shaping up to be the most exciting automotive story of the decade. And most importantly, share your thoughts below. Do you see this as a game changer or a last gasp of combustion technology? Your voice matters in this important conversation about how we'll move people and goods in the decades ahead. The future of mobility is being written right now, and thanks to BMW's surprise move, the plot just got a lot more interesting. Stay tuned, the best is yet to come.